Hi there, Mike the Vegas Guy here. Thank you for joining me once again as I attempt to rate and review every show playing in Las Vegas. And today I am reviewing the Mac King Comedy Magic Show. Mac has been headlining in Las Vegas for over 20 years. He currently does a 3 p.m. show Tuesdays through Saturdays at the Excalibur in the Thunderland showroom. For the majority of the last 20 years, he was at Harrah's prior to the pandemic. Now he's at the Excalibur. He is known as the King of the Afternoons. He is one of the most successful afternoon shows, one of the longest running headliners in Vegas in general. He has a great comedy magic show, and he is regarded around the world as one of the best comedy magicians alive today. Mac King got his start in the comedy club circuit in the late 80s, early 90s. Of course, he performed for adults then. When he moved to Vegas, started doing an afternoon show, he has catered his show to families. It is absolutely, without a doubt, a family-friendly show. You can bring kids, you can bring the grandparents, you can bring anyone to see this, and they will be entertained. There's nothing offensive for families, for kids, but there are certainly jokes that are a little subversive, geared towards the adults, that'll go over the kids' heads. It is truly a show for all ages. His show is not just funny, it's not just a comedy act, he is one of the world's best magicians. His rope routine, cut and restored rope, is one of a kind, and he opens the show with it, so don't be late. Let's jump right into the seating. We'll take a look at the seating chart here. Now, of course, I've done the homework for you. The prices I'm giving you are the full price, the final price that you will see, including all taxes and fees, when you put the seats into your cart. The lowest rate, there are only 2 tiers for this theater. $57.72 is going to be the lowest rate, and then the center tables and the center booths that you see there in the middle are $68.62. Now, the great thing about this show, it's a wonderful showroom. It's an intimate showroom. There really are no bad places to sit. It is a close-up magic show. You may want to sit up close if you really want to be able to see the numbers on the playing cards that someone's going to pick out of a deck in the show, but it's not necessary. It is small enough of a room, and the show is catered to the size of that room. He does a great job of that. My only problem with the seating, of course, and I'll say this for every show in the Thunderland showroom, this is no reflection on the Mac King Magic Show, but the tables that you see there, specifically all of the ones in the very center, the middle of that room, the majority of the seats in the showroom are at tables that are not really tables. They are set up to be runways for performers in the Thunder from Down Under show to stand on the tables and get up close and personal with the audience. But there are several other shows that share this showroom and do not need that up-close experience with performers dancing on the tables. This is one of those shows. Because these tables are designed to be walked on, you'll see writing on them that says, "Do not use this as a table." They have a little trough for you to put your cups and your drinks in. And also the chairs are aligned sideways alongside these fake tables, so you don't get to use them as tables at all. It's a little frustrating. You can't lean on them. They're awkward. It's not the most comfortable place to sit. So my recommendation, if you are going to pay for that premium price anyway, for that center section, sit in the booths. The booths, even though they look like they're at the back of the showroom, they're a wonderful view of the show. Again, it is an intimate room. You'll be much more comfortable in the booths if you're going to pay that price. Of course, I always try and get you the cheapest way to see the show. If you're going to get that lower price tier, those tables to the sides, you can get closer. I would recommend getting closer up to the stage, maybe sitting on the end. Any of the end of the table seats give you great leg room. Don't be afraid of purchasing side view tickets to this show unless you are literally in the front row, the furthest right-hand corner. It's not the greatest view, but just 1 or 2 tables back to that side, the cheapest ticket you can get on an aisle there will be a great option for you if you're trying to save a few bucks. Speaking of saving a few bucks, let's talk about the discounts. If you've watched my tutorial on how to find tickets and ticket discounts, you'll know where to go look for these discounts. You should be able to find some very reasonably priced tickets. If you go to the usual suspect ticket brokers that I mentioned in my tutorial there, you're going to find prices that quickly cut out the special fees and give you something along the lines of the base rate that you're advertised. That's going to be about $45 to $55 in an average discount range. But I wouldn't be surprised if you often find tickets cheaper than that. Especially, I'm being conservative by saying under $45 here. That's a great deal for this show. This is one of the best shows in town, in my opinion. If you can get under $45, it's absolutely a fair price for this show. It's a wonderful price. You should be able to find under $40 if you hunt around. Of course, ticket prices fluctuate. Discounts are not always offered, especially during peak times of the year. So take that with a grain of salt. Always do your own research. You know where to look. I have found tickets for around $35 for this show, the last time I went, actually. You can also go straight to their box office, like I always recommend, and ask for discounts. This show, I believe, does offer discounts. MGM Rewards is finicky sometimes. They keep changing their rules around, but they often historically have offered deals if you just have a rewards card with MGM Rewards. So show your MGM Rewards card in person. You should at least get a price to get you out of the Ticketmaster fees. Follow my usual tips that I give you in that tutorial, and you should get a very good deal on this show most of the time. My personal thoughts on this show, I've already kind of tipped my hand a little. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. I like to call this my favorite comfort food show in town. Over the last 24 years or so that he's been playing, it's extremely consistent. The show has not changed much, which makes it a reliable recommendation for someone like me recommending shows for tourists who might be here for their first time. You can count on this show being entertaining. Thankfully, we have people like Mac King who are tried and true, deliver a great product. It's one of the best shows in town, and it has rewatchability. I love going back because his show is all about the interactions with the people he brings up from the audience to participate in the magic tricks. So if you haven't figured out, this is going to be a 5-star must-see review for me. The prices are reasonable. The show is a home run for any audience, for any demographic. You can safely bring the whole family to it. Everyone will be entertained. And he's a living legend. Catch him while you still can. He's been at it for over 20 years. A lot of these veteran performers never retire. Wayne Newton's still at it. I hope Mac King will always be doing this show. It's a show I return to again and again and always invite my friends and family to come see. I do want to give a quick shout out. The last time I was there, I've been going to the Thunderland showroom a lot in the last few months in preparation for some of these reviews. When I went to see Mac King recently, I had a guest with me who had some mobility issues. The staff there could not have been more accommodating, more patient, kind. They were just wonderful people. And I've worked in showroom front of house staffing for a good portion of my career. I know what they go through, and I know I might not have been quite as patient as the showroom manager was there if I had been in their shoes. So you're wonderful people over there. I always love going to the Thunderland showroom. I just don't love sitting at those tables. But don't let that stop you from going to see any of the shows at Thunderland. It's otherwise a great room. They have great entertainment. The Mac King Comedy Magic Show is probably my favorite. Have you been to the Mac King Comedy Magic Show? Tell me in the comments what you thought of it. Also, tell me which show you would like me to review next. Thank you for subscribing, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. This is Mike the Vegas Guy saying, please like me.